As social beings, we live and interact with other humans with various behavioral attributes of which some might be good or toxic. As a rule of thumb, if you want to stay happy, ensure you don't allow toxic individuals to lease space in your mind. Raise the lease and get them out of there. Sigma males understand that dealing with the ups, downs, and lightning tempests of others' ill humor can be difficult to manage, and as such, they have developed brilliant ways of managing these toxic individuals. It's significant, however, to recollect that a few surly, gloomy individuals might be going through a troublesome stage in their lives. They might be sick, persistently stressed, or lacking what they need regarding love and basic encouragement. Such individuals should be paid attention to, upheld, and really focused on, albeit anything that the reason for their testiness and antagonism. You might, in any case, have to safeguard yourself from their way of behaving now and again. However, there's another type of moody, negative behavior. That of the toxic bully, who will use his or her mood swings to intimidate and manipulate. It's this aspect of moodiness that inflicts enduring abuse and misery. If you observe these people closely, you will notice that their attitude is overly self-referential. This is the kind of toxic behavior this video will highlight. So how can you best manage the fallout from other people's relentless toxicity? Hi guys, welcome to Inspiration Plug. Watch as I walk you through the 7 smart ways Sigma males deal with toxic people around them. 1. Keep going without them. If you know someone who insists on influencing the emotional climate in a damaging manner, be aware that they are toxic. If your compassion, patience, guidance, and overall attentiveness aren't helping them, and they don't seem to care, then ask yourself, do I need this person in my life? It is much simpler to breathe when toxic people are removed from your area. Leave these folks behind if the situation calls for it, and move on when the time comes. Seriously, be courageous and recognize when enough is enough. Letting toxic individuals leave doesn't mean you dislike them, or that you wish them ill. It simply shows you care about your well-being. If you must keep a truly toxic person in your life for whatever reason, then consider the remaining points. 2. Stop acting as though their toxic behavior is acceptable. Toxic people can exploit their grumpy behavior to gain preferential treatment if you're not careful, because it just seems easier to silence them than to listen to their cantankerous talk. Don't be deceived. In a circumstance like this, short-term convenience equals long-term anguish for you. If toxic people are rewarded for not changing, they will not change. Make the decision right now not to be swayed by their actions. Stop tiptoeing around them or creating special exceptions for their obstinacy. It's never worth putting up with constant drama and negativity. 3. Speak up. Make a stand. Some people will cut in line, take money and property from others, bully and ridicule others, transfer guilt, and so on. This behavior is not acceptable. The majority of these people are aware that they are doing something wrong and will promptly back down when confronted. People prefer to keep quiet in most social situations until one person speaks up, so speak up. Some toxic people might use anger to manipulate you, or they might ignore you when you're trying to connect, or they might interrupt you and start speaking harshly about something you care about. If you dare to speak up and react negatively to their moodiness, they may be astonished, if not enraged, that you've intruded on their personal space. Nonetheless, you must speak up. Not addressing a person's toxic behavior may become the primary reason for falling prey to their mind tricks. On the other hand, confronting this type of behavior head-on can help them realize the negative consequences of their actions. I've noticed you seem angry, you can say, for example. Is there something bothering you? You appear to be bored. Do you believe what I'm saying is irrelevant? Right now, your attitude is bothering me. Is this what you're looking for? If someone is truly using their moody attitude as a means of social manipulation, direct statements like these can be disarming, and they can also open the door for you to try to help them if they are genuinely having difficulties. What do you mean? They might ask. And dispute it. At the very least, you've made them aware that their attitude has become a public issue, not just a personal tool they may use to control people whenever they want. It may be time to 4. Take a step forward. Your dignity can be assaulted, torn, and shamefully insulted, but it can never be taken away from you unless you willingly give it up. It all comes down to gaining the courage to stand up for yourself. Show that you are not easily offended or dismissed. The message is clear. Subtle jabs will not be rewarded, and there will be no games on your end. Toxic people pollute everyone they come into contact with, including you if you let them. If you've attempted to reason with them and they still won't budge, simply leave their space and ignore them until they do. 5. Don't take their negativity personally. It's not you, it's them. This is something that you should be aware of. Toxic people will almost certainly try to make you feel guilty. Because many of us have a strong, feeling guilty button. Simply the suggestion that we may have done something wrong might shake our resolve. Do not fall victim to this fate. Remember that when you don't take anything personally, you gain a tremendous amount of freedom. The majority of toxic people are poisonous to everyone they come into contact with, not just you. Even though the situation appears to be personal, even if you are directly offended, it is usually unrelated to you. What people say and do, as well as their viewpoints, are based entirely on their own self-reflection. 6. Put compassion into action. It's understandable to feel empathetic to toxic people. You know are going through a difficult time or are ill. There's no denying that some toxic people are legitimately disturbed, depressed, or even psychologically and physically ill. But, you must distinguish their legitimate difficulties from how they treat you. Allowing people to get away with anything because they are upset, confronting a medical issue, or even unhappy makes it all too easy for them to begin unconsciously utilizing their terrible situation as a means to an end. You can't assist someone by pardoning them for everything they do just because they have problems. There are lots of people going through difficult times who are not toxic to those around them. When we create limits, we can only act with genuine compassion. In the long run, making too many pardons and concessions is not healthy or realistic for anyone. 7. Set aside some time for yourself. If you have to live or work with someone toxic, make sure you get enough alone time to relax, heal, and recover. It can be exhausting to pretend to be a focused, reasonable adult in the face of toxic moodiness, and if you're not careful, the toxicity can spread to you. Remember that even persons with actual difficulties and clinical disorders may understand that you have needs as well, so you can respectfully excuse yourself when necessary. You've earned this break. You have the right to think freely, free of outside pressure and toxic behavior, no problems to address, no boundaries to maintain, and no personalities to appease. Sometimes you have to make time for yourself away from the busy world you live in. The floor is yours. What are your experiences with toxic people? What have you done to cope with their behavior? Please share your thoughts by leaving a comment below.